afternoon or evening or whatever it is that you're watching this Facebook and YouTube. My name is Tyler Mulvaney. I'm the director here at Oil Belt Christian Service Camp in Flora. Today, hanging out and talking with me is Aaron McCaleb. He is the fishing camp dean. So we're going to talk about what fishing camp is. So it is a seventh and eighth grade camp for boys only, May 29th through the 31st of May. And so they're going to be fishing, obviously. The way you can learn more and register is oilbelt.com. You can get all the info for that. But we're just going to jump into what happens at fishing camp. So, Aaron, go ahead and introduce yourself. You've been dean of fishing camp actually since its inception. You've kind of led the charge on this camp. So, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you serve at Little Prairie and fishing camp in general.
Yeah, my name's Aaron McCaleb. I've been the youth minister here at Little Prairie for 14 years now. And since I got here, I've been helping out with camp. I grew up going to camp in different, in St. Louis and northern Indiana, where I'm from, but been helping out with Oil Belt since I got here. Known Tyler back when he was the youth minister at Red Brush and been good friends a long time. Back in 2018 or 2017, I think it was, Tyler came up and asked me about what I thought about putting together a fishing camp for junior high boys. And so we did it the first year at someone's private property. We did the
Hmm.
first one there, and then since then we've moved to Sam Dale Lake and been doing it there the last several years. And it's gotten better every year. We have a great group of guys that come and help out. We get several bass boats out there, and just spend a couple days camping out there at Samdale, fishing from the bank, fishing from the boats. Cooking food over campfires. I bring my Blackstone out there. We eat really good at fishing camp. So you know, we eat really good at fishing camp. We don't actually eat too much fish, but yeah, it's just a great couple days with some good volunteers, spending some time fishing, spending some time, hearing from God's word around the campfire, and just yeah, it's a good experience for young boys, and we're excited. We've added a couple more spots this year as rooms become available, and so we're just excited for it.
Yeah. So fishing camp, like you said, it is a limited capacity, and then we even limit it to just boys. And obviously, camping out in the wilderness that makes life a lot easier when it's one gender, in general. But also, the wait list this year, we bumped it up. You've been doing it for a couple years now, and so this year we're going to take 15 boys instead of 10. And so that opened up some opportunities. So if you want to sign up for this camp, or if you already have and it told you you're on the wait list, that's okay. Nothing against the 15 who are currently signed up, but with it being 2 months out, there's a good chance somebody's going to have some plans that come up, a family situation. They may get sick. And so we remind those parents and kids that if they do have chance plans change, please let us know as soon as possible so we can pull from the wait list for that camp along with some of our other camps. And so there's a good chance you might get pulled from the wait list just because of that. So that always makes it fun when you're scrambling, adding kids at the last minute. So, okay, you mentioned a couple things you do at fishing camp. So obviously, we're gonna fish. So do kids bring fishing gear? Do you have it all? What does that look like?
So some of the kids that have come in past have more expensive gear than what I currently own for myself. Some kids come with absolutely nothing, and we've got plenty of extra rods and reels, and we have all the bait and all the tackle that you would need. So even if you've never been fishing before uh, and don't own even a little Zebco pole or anything like that, just bring yourself. We got plenty of gear, plenty of stuff for anyone to use. If you've got some nice gear that you like to use, got your own rods and reels and stuff like that, bring those out with you. You're more than welcome to use those. It's just we've got stuff for every experience level. We've never had a kid not catch a fish. Like we've never had a kid go the whole weekend without catching anything. Actually, last year we had at least one, possibly two kids that, according to them and according to the other kids, caught over 100 fish. Not all of them, we're not talking massive bass or anything like that, but um, you will catch something. I can't guarantee it's going to be huge, but you will catch plenty of fish. Sam Dale's got where we camp out at Sam Dale's got great shore access, and then Last couple of years, we've had two different bass boats. I think this year we're possibly going to have four that are going to be able to take kids out. The leaders are all guys that love to fish, and some of them like to focus on bass fishing. Some of them are obsessed with crappie fishing. Some of them catfish. I'm obsessed with any kind of fishing. I like catching little fish, big fish. You can see the pictures I got behind me. I like anything. If as long as it swims, I like to catch it. So you'll catch something, and we've always caught some decent sized fish out there. But numbers wise, we usually catch a ton of fish while we're out there.
Yeah.
So you'll catch something.
And like you said, last year a couple kids exposed your thing because sometimes you have competitions of who catches the biggest or the most and all this stuff. So didn't you say one boy just sat there and caught bluegill and crappie the whole time? Like they just were ripping lips to get those number count.
he he found the perfect spot. He found like this honey hole where, for whatever reason, like when one fish gets caught, another one would take its place, and he just sat in this little spot all by himself all weekend long and just kept throwing it out, kept bringing it back in. Now, granted, a lot of the fish ended up becoming bait fish for catfish later, but we did catch some good sized catfish off of those bait fish. So, but yeah, he just kept. I mean, he just as long as he was out there, he was catching fish. Like I don't think he went 5 minutes without a catch standing at that spot. Yeah, and then taking the boats out. We some kids caught some really nice fish off the boats. There's it's a beautiful lake. It's a great lake for this. And so yeah, we had more fish caught this last year probably than the 2 or 3 years before that.
Yeah.
So
Okay, a couple other questions. Okay, you mentioned bring their own gear. Obviously, I just want to say from the campsite, like that's a bring at your own risk, though, too,
yeah,
because
yeah.
they just got to understand that they're out there in the woods with 15 other junior high boys. So, make sure kids, you try to take care of stuff. You can't always, you know,
Boys will be boys.
guarantee.
Yeah,
Yeah, we gotta watch for that. So parents know like that's a risk in and of itself. It's gonna ride in the back of a box trailer for 20 minutes down there and all that too. So just anything you can do to keep it safe, but don't send the $1,000 reel and rod set up and
yeah,
be surprised if
yeah.
it gets a little muddy or dirty or worse.
Yeah. Also, don't bring any clothes or shoes or anything like that you're afraid of getting dirty because we're tent camping. Not you know everything's going to come home smelling like the campfire, and uh,
Right.
you know
And
yeah.
that was the next question was, hey, we're going tent camping. So do they bring their own tents or what does that look like as far as gear for tent camping?
So we have several big tents we get from the camp. We've got we'll have several real big group size tents that we'll have out there already set up when the kids get there. A lot of kids bring their own tents, but we've got plenty. I mean, we'll probably have enough space in the tents that we have set up that even if we don't get another tent out there, that we'll have plenty of room. But if you want to, you can bring your own. Some kids will, we'll tent together. We only have certain amount of space, so can't guarantee that if you get out there, if we have so many tents, we may not be able to set all of them up. But if you don't have a tent, we've already got plenty of room for the kids. Pack what you would normally pack for tent camping, clothes for the outdoors. It doesn't usually get cold out there, but maybe a light jacket in case it gets when the sun goes down, breeze picks up. It can get a little bit chilly, but we'll have the campfire going. Flashlights are great. Don't bring any kind of electronics other than that. You don't, that's camp policy anyways, but you're not going to get cell reception out there anyways. So,
Right.
um, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And we had, I'm trying to remember, parents ask about storms and weather and all that good stuff. You've rode out a few storms. And so we've gone to some local churches and, they have obviously like the concrete bathhouses and stuff like that. So it seems like even one time you guys may have talked about coming back to camp. I'm trying to remember if you guys ended up coming back to camp for one of those one night.
So we've had multiple weather issues. The first year we did it, it was so hot that we had to get the kids in air conditioning for a little while just because it was brutal. But that, we moved it to May because of that instead of doing it at the end of June and July. So that haven't had that issue since we moved it up earlier. But we have had, thunderstorms come in the middle of the night, and I think I can't remember what year. It's like 20. I think it was 2019. Yeah, that we ended up riding out the entire night, spending the entire night in the church van riding out a storm because the lightning was really bad. None of our stuff got damaged, but there was um, some people camping next to us that their tent completely collapsed because of so much rain and everything. But we spent like 7 hours inside the church van, just kids sleeping on each other's shoulders, and the van smelled awful after that. Had to get it cleaned, but it made for a great story. It made for a great story. That was actually that was our first year at Sam Dale that happened. Yeah, one of the sponsors woke me up at like 11 o'clock that night and was like, "Hey, there's a storm coming," and we had to stand in like a certain spot of the campground to get any kind of signal to check the radar. And like the storm just basically formed right over top of our heads, and lightning was striking everywhere. And but by the time it really hit bad, we had everyone in the van, and we just stayed in the van, had the air conditioning on, so they didn't all suffocate in there. But yeah, they slept the night out there. It ended up being a fun, like in the morning, all
Oh
the kids
yeah.
loved it. They thought it was funny. They thought it was hilarious. And I've had multiple kids like since then, just remind me of that. Like, hey, do you remember when we spent the night in the church van because of the storm? So
Yep.
yeah, we'll take them. We'll keep them safe.
Yep. Oh, for sure, for sure. And so yeah, they're gonna get a lot of fishing. They're gonna get to see some of the, like you mentioned, we're gonna have a couple boats out there. They can fish on the lake, fish from the bank. They're gonna be doing a good mix of it all. So, is there any other thoughts that you might have that parents may ask, or anything else you may want to tell your kids, the kids about fishing camp or what to expect that we haven't hit on?
Um, I don't know that we haven't hit on it. Just that um, it's a great time to be. It's just a great couple of days outdoors with some great guys. You'll have all sorts of opportunities to fish different kinds of ways. From the bank, from the boat. We'll do some nighttime fishing for catfish, things like that. Um, they don't have to have any experience. They don't have to know what they're doing. We've had kids that have never held a fishing pole before that, by the end of the weekend, they, felt like they had a pretty good handle on it and they caught several fish. Um, we've got some awesome guys coming that are, going to be doing devotions with them in the mornings and doing some campfire worship time at night, and just really pouring into these kids, showing them, some godly examples of what it means to be a godly man. And um, yeah, I love everything about fishing camp. I look forward to it every year. Um, so yeah, yeah,
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And it's different how you do teaching out there. Because you're kind of working through the weekend where you're getting to do teaching along the way while you also are doing worship times, devotional times, scripture moves, all that good stuff. You're tying it in, but it's not sitting in the chapel doing a class at all.
yeah,
But you're getting to point it out in some different ways, and it's really cool.
yeah. And there's so many things out there that try and draw kids away to so many negative influences in their life. It's good for kids to have just pure, unadulterated memories of, with in a safe environment with, good people who care about them, good godly men who care about them, will keep them safe. It's just it's a good experience for all the kids that are there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we love doing it. So again, parents, I'm gonna wrap up here, but junior high fishing camp. It's a seventh and eighth grade camp for boys. Fishing camp May 29th through May 31st. You can learn and sign up at oilbelt.com for all that. It is currently full, but go ahead, sign up, get on the wait list. So if somebody does have plans change, we can get you added in and get you onto this camp. And if you have more questions, give us a shout here. But Aaron, I appreciate your time, man. We're looking forward
Yeah,
to a
thanks
great
for,
camp.
yeah, I'm excited about it. Looking forward to it.